What's up everyone? Today I want to show you how I edit photos in Lightroom. Alright, now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to see if we can get this white balance thing together. I think I was in auto when I was doing it, so I know I'm not supposed to. Actually, I can't remember. Maybe I was doing the thing. So let's try this, see if this works. Just find something kind of neutral gray, white, as they say. Let's see if this works. It's kind of green. Let's try it again. Something like that. I know I should have like a white card when I do these shoots or something. All right, that's a little bit better. So for now, we're gonna just start with that. I mean, obviously we can go to these sliders right here and maybe a little bit warmer, just a little bit warmer. All right, cool. That looks decent. Now we're just gonna create a few little masks here. The first one of the subject, and shout out to Jeremy. This is the last, that's his name, the subject's name, client. He's really cool, easy to work with. And we're gonna create another mask here, background, and it wasn't technically golden hour, so I had to find some kind of not super offensive lighting scenarios. I think I did all right. You could see a little bit of kind of light, kind of where the sun was coming this direction over here, but it's not a super big deal. For the purposes of this video, it's not. So I just want to kind of get his face a little brighter. I didn't have a reflector or a flash, so I'm kind of doing this kind of a little bit more primitive. So create another mask, radial gradient, just see if I can kind of lift the shadows in his face a little bit. I'm kind of drunk driving a little bit here. All right, just the shadows a little bit, just to brighten up a little bit. Okay, maybe a little bit, maybe just the whites, just a little bit more. Maybe exposure. Oh, gotta be careful with that. Just a little something, something. Before, after, see? Just to get a little bit more in the face. I mean, obviously you don't want to overdo it, but just kind of simulate what a flash would be. Obviously it's not the same thing, but it just kind of helps bring up the brightness in the face. So you want to be careful. All right, cool. The next thing I like to do is I like to start working on my blemishes or imperfections in the face, teeth, eyes, whatever. Jeremy has really nice complexion, so I don't have to do too much, but you know, I like to do what I can. Oh, actually, use generative AI button off right now. And so I go real close and I get all this stuff, and maybe most people won't notice it, but sometimes it's the collection of little things that add up to the greater big picture. So yeah, I just like to do my due diligence. Oh, see, this is why we go in close. Those little hair strands will bug me, and maybe I'm just doing it for me. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, it's gonna bug me, but you know, it's just about integrity, right? The integrity of what you're doing. Little things, especially when you start adding little things up, it matters. It's like the part of the big picture. So I think it's important to kind of go in here and, you know, this technique is just, you know, just try to smooth out the skin. Not smooth out the skin, but even out the skin. He's got a lot of freckles, stuff like that. I'm not going to deal with that. It's natural. But yeah, for the most part, nice skin. And then I'll go under the eyes and see if I can take a few years off of his life by getting rid of some of these little crow's feet things. Nothing too crazy, but it's just subtle, but it makes a difference, you know. Like I said, I'll put him in the time machine a little bit. We all, nobody's perfect, right? So we all got things that, especially over time, they will kind of catch up to you. Like I said, you don't want to overdo it, make him look like he's had plastic surgery or something. I'm just teasing. All right, cool. So that's I can deal with that. And then, like I said, I did not use a flash, so I'm going to create another mask with a brush, and then I'll be able to kind of get these eyeballs a little bit brighter, just a little bit. You Now I usually start with one brush on just the white part separately, and then kind of bring it up in exposure, the whites, however you want to do it. Like I said, don't overdo it. Just a little something, something, a little bit more. Maybe even take off a little bit of the saturation so it's like white. Okay, I'm gonna do another brush here just for the middle of the eyes, the irises. I don't know whatever the terminology is. I'm not an eye doctor. So then just brighten up a little bit, but I feel like they're okay, and you can even do a little sharpness if you want to. I've seen that before. And then one more brush mask for the teeth. His teeth are actually nice. He's got a good dental plan. This is important. You know, if you got bad teeth, you got a bad life. So this is okay. So, and typically, like what I like to do is just kind of, you know, hit it with the whites a little bit. Like I said, you don't want to overdo it. Then just kind of back off the saturation a little bit, and maybe even just a little bit with the temperature. Bring it down a little bit because you're trying to get it to be white and get rid of the, you know, the typical yellow from coffee stand smoking, etc. He doesn't smoke, but I'm sure he drinks coffee. Anyways, so and then my last little touch that I typically do is I will do this for the smoothing of the skin. I'm trying to get this thing in the right place. Sorry, I'm drunk driving again. Back to the brush, add, and let's see, let's just paint over here. And I generally do this kind of more for women, but I mean, everybody wants nice skin. Go down to texture and clarity and just back it off a little bit so it just kind of evens out a little bit. And so it's looking pretty good. If I go to just like kind of the main light situation, just a little bit of contrast. I don't know what my highlights are looking at. Actually, let's go to the background mask. Back off some of the highlights perhaps in those. Yeah. It's looking pretty good. So this is before, wow, after, and so maybe I'll bring the face down, the face brightness down a little bit. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Right here on this subject, or actually, sorry, it's this one right here. Maybe I'll just bring the highlights down a little bit on that. Yeah, it's looking pretty good, clear. Like I said, I had the sun coming in. It was a mixed cloudy day, so I was trying to take pictures when the sun was over the the sun was behind the cloud, but you know it was peeking back and forth. But I think I did pretty good. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Now, optional thing that you can do if you really want to be kind of get up in it. You know what? You could just take something like this with the new AI capabilities of Lightroom and just see if we can kind of get rid of this little background element to yeah, see, it's kind of cool. I don't know, do we like it better with that? I don't know, maybe I didn't get the best background. I put it back there. Yeah, I mean, it could be like a little distracting. I'm gonna redo it. I don't know, but I think for the most part, it's fine. And then, speaking of backgrounds, I'm gonna go to the background here, back to the background, and then I can just kind of soften it up even a little bit more so it's less distracting. I'm gonna go back to the, trying to get the right. Do I like it darker, lighter? I don't know. I think that's okay. And yeah, and I'm pretty happy with this. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I can kind of do my OCD thing again, get rid of some more of these. Oh, actually, I gotta take I'm used to, before it was the generative AI thing, and you just kind of go there, but you gotta make sure to take that off for these little blemishes like this. Do not leave that on, and it's looking pretty solid. I'm pretty happy, maybe overall. Down some of the whites, and then sometimes I'll just hit auto just to see if what the computer likes, and then I'll be like, I don't like that. Maybe blacks a little bit. And yeah, looks pretty good. I would say I would be confident showing that to a client, and like, here's your headshot. So that's basically my system, my process doing headshots. And obviously, you want to get the best possible lighting, when you're taking the picture, when you're taking the photo. So, you want to be really diligent about doing that before. And like I said, this is not ideal perfect, and the day wasn't exactly, part of the day wasn't golden hour, but I was just, I did my best, and I think it looks pretty good. Obviously, then, depending on how you want to crop it, you can do that thing, the eyes and the line, and then it's always nice to, I've been doing this enable lens correction. Doink. Oh, no, didn't do anything. And then another thing that I think is kind of cool too is hit auto on the straightening, just little subtle things to make sure things are like symmetrical and all that stuff. So that's basically my process, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content. All right, have a great day. Peace.